All right, welcome to Inside Gateway. We are blessed to have Marissa, one of the two Gateway Farmer managers, right?
Yes.
Is that your title?
Yep.
Okay. So we're sitting in front of the greenhouse, a really cool setting here, which used to be what? What
Used to be the chicken coop.
Chicken coop
Yep.
that burned down.
Yes.
Okay, we won't name who did that, but I think most of us probably know who did that. It was an accident, but that paved the way for this beautiful greenhouse. So,
Yeah.
explain to us the greenhouse a little bit, kind of maybe the growing season when that starts.
Sure. So the greenhouse is mostly ran by Eric, but it starts probably just as soon as it's warm enough.
Okay.
So we do have heaters, so we can supplement that. But about February, March,
Oh,
we
wow.
start growing some tiny seedlings, and then Eric does that for a couple weeks, and then we hire the greenhouse technicians, and they kind of go probably March until April or May when our season starts, so we can start sending them outside.
Okay. And so from the greenhouse then to the gardens, and educate us a little bit where the gardens are, and
Sure.
maybe do the gardens have specific needs or uses, I guess.
So right now, goodness, I guess we have 4 main plots. So we have the maple garden,
Okay.
which was
And
our
that's where it started,
that's
right?
where it
We'll
started.
get into that
Yep.
a little bit. So.
Yeah, so it started at the maple garden. We still use that. Right now, we just do onions and potatoes there.
Okay.
We use the oak house garden, which is a larger garden, and we do just really all sorts of things there. We have a plot behind the school that
Okay.
houses some of our perennials, and then some of our just like larger crops that take up more space. We also have our berry patches are behind the school and up front in the pasture. And then we have another plot of land that a donor has been letting us
Okay.
use, probably about 3 or 4 miles from here, that's more like half an acre.
Okay, very good. So, yeah, let's speak into a little bit of where you came from. So, I think we probably heard this before, but we love origin stories, especially in the day of the Marvel universe here. So, what is the origin story of Gateway Farms?
So Eric and I were house parents for about 5.5 years before we started Gateway Farms full time. But we were lead house parents at Maple House,
Okay.
maybe like our 3rd year into house parenting. And we were kind of just thinking of what we were going to do for the summer, just trying to get a plan. Kids are only in school half days, so it's just nice to have some sort of idea.
Yeah.
Eric and I personally just always had this idea of Gateway Farms. We kind of only had that name, Gateway Farms,
Yeah.
but we didn't really know what it was going to be. So they kind of just both merged into one, and just while we were brainstorming summer, I just said, hey, why don't we do like a CSI subscription service for produce with just our residents in the house. So we asked for approval, and our manager said, go for it, so we did.
Very good. So that was 2015.
It was maybe like 5 years ago.
Okay.
So
All right.
14 maybe.
Right around there.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Because I think we were neighbors at the time at Cypress.
Yeah,
And
totally.
our residents at the time were just like, yeah, Maple, they're always working.
Yeah.
So it's like, "Oh, that's fine. So don't
Making
complain."
money. Yeah, we're good at making money.
Very good. So that's kind of where Gateway Farms started. And
Yeah.
then when you left house parenting, was it officially started at that point, or was there kind of a gap in between?
Yeah, so we did Gateway Farms for like 3 years as house parents. So just during the summer, we would grow it a little bit, get a few more customers, but it was still kind of the same. Like just the residents that we had
Yeah.
were the ones doing it. We kind of added a few protein programs. I think we had done turkeys and pork at that point. Again, just still as house parents, just using the residents that we had in our house. And at a certain point, we kind of realized like we can't really do this as house parents, and this is a valuable asset to Gateway, we thought.
Yeah.
So we approached the board and some managers and just said, hey, we think this is a valuable idea, a valuable program, but we can't do it as house parents. Would you want to pay us to do this full time? And they said they would.
Very good.
So then it kind of became like a more structured program.
Yeah. Cool. So looking back, would you have done anything different up to this point?
I don't know. I think probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy with what we did, and it got us to this point, which I'm glad about.
Yeah.
I think it was fun for the residents, and we definitely learned tons of things. so we could have done things better before. But I'm not sure I would have done it differently. It was
Very
good to learn.
So maybe not your 5-year plan, but what's kind of next for Gateway Farms?
Yeah, that's a good question. Right now we're in the thick of growing season, so we don't have a ton of time to dream. But one of our ideas for Gateway Farms is to have a more structured building or space for the market. Right now we do like a tent awning every week on campus that we set up and tear down, and customers can come to us and pick and purchase just more like a grocery store style. So that's been really fun to see the community come to campus and just be able to educate people on what Gateway Woods is. So we kind of have a vision of some sort of structured building that people can come to campus, purchase our products, get to know what we are and what we do. Kind of along with that would be maybe like we have some berry patches going. We would like those to be U-Pick at some point. And yeah, who knows? There's endless possibilities.
Yeah.
So tons of ideas, but I'm not sure which ones are finalized yet.
Sure, sounds good. And how's your family involved in this with Gateway Farms? Obviously, you and Eric have positions with your kids.
Yeah, so Eric and I, we actually just switched this year, so that Eric and I are co-managers. So it's kind of more or less back to a house parent model again, which works really well for us, that we can kind of tag team our kids and the business side of Gateway Farms and help with the residents. So our kids are along with us a lot of the time.
Yeah.
We like them to get air conditioning sometimes too.
Sure.
So when Eric and I are both working, a lot of times our kids are with us on campus.
Very good. So I see Eric around here a lot. I'm not as much you. So are you kind of more behind the scenes as admin back at home, or where do you do most of your work?
Yeah, so again, we just changed our structure so that Eric and I can work more together at the same time. So we're kind of still learning, but a lot of what I do is behind the scenes. A lot of more like the business side of things is what I do. More like the PR and customer sort of things. But I do work with the customers or the residents maybe like 2 days a week, and then a lot of behind the scenes stuff for the business part of Gateway Farms.
Very good.
But it's still growing. We're still figuring out what works best.
That's good. And how is it having a third person, Charity, through the summer?
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. So it just kind of like allows us kind of the house parent model again, like when you have an assistant, then it's just one more person that you can tag team, and just, she knows what's going on too. So sometimes that allows Eric to do a more specific project that he would have had to maybe stay late for before.
Sure.
So yeah, it definitely allows more margin, and it's fun, I think, for the residents too, to have one more person to invest in them.
Very good. Emily, do you have a question?
Yeah, so 5 years ago when Gateway Farms started in Maple Garden, how many subscriptions did you have at that point?
So we started with 10.
Okay.
And I'm going to guess your follow-up question.
And today
Today we have 70 customers, and we do the market every week.
That's amazing.
So we're selling to customers, every week. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And that's here in the Leo area, and then also in Bluffton, right?
Yeah, so Bluffton we do every other week. We do our CSA pickup, but also a market as well. So Bluffton's every other, and local is every week.
Very good. So do you, as far as growing the CSA, regions or just really numbers? Like, what do you think?
I think more numbers. I mean, we're kind of open to whatever, but I think we'd like to be focused. We love the local aspect of it, getting like our Leo and Graybull, Fort Wayne communities plugged into Gateway Woods. I think that's really beneficial for all parties.
Yeah.
But Bluffton we love too, because we have such a great church base there. We think we just want to be really intentional about like connecting our residents to Christian customers specifically. We've seen just tons of benefits to that, and so Bluffton's one area that we think is value added, although new.
Yeah, very good. So what's kind of a fun memory that you've had, whether through house parenting, working in that with the Gateway Farms, or then now that just makes you laugh or smile? Because when you're in this kind of work, you need something to kind of fall back on that keeps you going.
Yeah. One of my favorite memories was from house parenting. And there was like a group, our residents at the time, I don't know, maybe 5 or 7 of them, I don't remember how many. They started just essentially playing church. They got out like some songbooks, and I think they were just kind of being silly at first, but then it kind of turned into this legit thing that they were like just having a hymn singing in the living room, and it probably lasted like 20 minutes then. So it was just fun. Like they were just goofing around and being silly, but then like a lot of our kids grew up doing, they essentially started playing church and like started worshiping God then for like 15 minutes, whether they wanted to or not. They just did on their own accord.
Awesome. So in Bluffton, we would have face-offs. And were they doing that?
They weren't doing that.
Okay.
It was pretty just communal.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, I love those memories. Just even from a former house parent myself, just looking back and just like, it's amazing. Just we've been out of house parenting for about 3 years, probably similar to you guys, and it's like you forget so much. I mean, time it just has a way to escape, but there's certain memories you can hold on to and pray for those former residents.
Yeah.
So now in Gateway Farms and dealing with the residents and the farmers, what's kind of the process of hiring them, and do you feel like you have to turn some away? Like, is there a lot of excitement, like this is the new thing that residents want to be a part of?
Yeah, so we do a pretty professional hiring experience. Eric usually goes to like the school lunch and just announces, hey, we're hiring. We usually set out a flyer and a sign-up sheet. And then the kids who are interested need to fill out an application. So pretty normal job experience, just like any other application. And then we take those applications and we, sort through them. So we try to usually interview everybody, just because that's a good learning experience too. So typically we interview everyone, and then we can't hire everyone. We only have certain positions available. So we do, we do hire. We definitely take into account the interview, but also the treatment team weighs in, and scheduling and that sort of thing. A lot of times too, the kids that are on campus more, we kind of weigh them out heavier, because if they're available more often, then we like that.
Yeah.
So we hire kids, and then we usually try to give feedback. So the ones that we don't hire, we say, hey, these are some reasons why we didn't hire you, so they're not just left thinking what was wrong with me. And then usually if there's something specific, we kind of say like, hey, we're going to have chickens coming up. If you're interested in that, we'd love to give you a call back. So we try to do it in an encouraging way, but definitely we can't hire everyone. So
that's good. Give them the real world experience, and then they're getting, I love that, the feedback regardless of hired or not.
Yeah, we try to make it real world, but also teaching. So it's sometimes a complicated weight, but I think it's a good thing if we can balance it out.
Yeah, very good. So what's something that God has taught you, kind of, whether through house parenting or in this Gateway Farms?
A lot of things. I think the biggest is that I think I've just seen like if people can cause hurt and harm to other people, then it's probably true that people can also bring healing to other people. I think sometimes I'm like really quick to just say, well, God heals them, and that is true. But if He also chooses to live inside of us, then like we get to be a part of that. So just that, that words and actions do really matter both ways.
Yeah, very good. So how can the people that are watching this video or maybe watching it later help out with Gateway Farms specifically?
Yeah, I think the number one way is to become a customer. If you're local or in Bluffton, just become a customer. It's sometimes people look at it as a donation and you get a lot of produce. But we love that connection is amazing for our residents to see the same face over and over, usually somewhat of an encouraging customer, and just even if not, the residents just take such joy in being able to like give value-added items to another person. Their self-worth definitely skyrockets. So become a customer. If you can't, pray for our residents, like our farmers. They're amazing people, and they really have pretty low resources that are praying for them. Definitely pray. And then if you have financial resources, we'd love to use them for Gateway Farms. There's tons of capital expenses since we're a new business that we're still kind of learning new processes, and we need like large ticket items to farm. So we can always use financial resources too.
Very good. and I'll end with this unless you have something else. The featured farmer. I
Yeah.
love that concept. So, what was kind of the birth of that?
I think we always did it. And again, maybe to back up, I'll just explain what the featured farmer is. So in our CSA, our produce subscription service, every time that a customer gets produce, they also get a little flyer that we call featured farmer. And it kind of highlights one of the farmers. And just like this interview is a question format for me, it's kind of the same for a resident, but in written form. So for us, the idea was just like connecting the residents to the customers. And again, we've seen like such value in that for the resident, definitely, to feel like a valuable person and that someone cares about me enough to like read and learn about me. But then also for the customer, some of our customers say they keep those, like they put them in their kitchen cupboards and are praying over the residents. Just that connection piece that we just try to just make an intentional part of Gateway Farms. That we don't want to just, our tagline new this year is growing youth in big letters, and then growing food, little letters. So we want our focus to always be the resident. How can we instill their self-worth and their value and teach them real life skills and also about God at the same time. And then also we grow food.
Yeah.
So piggybacking off of that, how have you seen Gateway Farms impact the residents? Either a specific story or just in general?
Yeah, there are some specific stories. Let me think. Okay, so one, we had like a really just obstinate kid. He or she just really didn't want to do anything ever.
Sure.
And we did Gateway Farms with him, and he was, touch and go, whether or not he really wanted to help or not. But one of the customers that year had a baby, and he found out about it. And he just took it on himself to like go out and pick some wildflowers and take it to the customer with a note that said like something like, "Hope your baby likes vegetables." So just little things like that, like it is a big deal. Like when they feel valuable and like when they feel like people care about them, then that gives them margin to care about other people too. They don't have to only care about themselves.
Sure.
So little things like that. I think some of our farmers definitely are okay staying at Gateway longer. Because of Gateway Farms, they have like a program that they can leave the house, they can go make some money. It's hot and uncomfortable, but they still can like joke around and have a little bit of fun too. So I think that helps too with kids wanting to just like be here a little bit longer. And then that only increases our impact with them. So I don't know. There are some cool stories. They usually end up liking it, even though again it's hot and uncomfortable work that they don't know how to do. But they stick it out and they learn, and then they reap the rewards.
Very good. Anything else you'd like to share or comments?
I don't think so. Yeah, just become a customer. We love our customers, and the more the merrier, I think, for both parties. So.
And do I hear that people who are coming to the auction will have an opportunity to become customers?
To be determined. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so we're right in the middle of the season, so the customer is closed now. So explain a little bit of that process, like when they need to come.
Yeah.
Hopefully this winter we'll get a new website for Gateway Farms and maybe a little easier.
So right now we mainly do it on like an email list. So if you're interested in becoming a Gateway Farms customer, there's like a contact form on the website, so gatewaywoods.org. Find a contact form and just send us your information. Say, hey, I'm interested in the mailing list. We're thinking about opening up like a small fall CSA subscription too. So the quicker the better if you're interested. But yeah, you're right. For this year, the season is closed for the summer. But yeah, give us your information. We'll put you on the contact list, and that way you'll have the opportunity before it sells out for next year.
Very good. So you heard it from Marissa. We need your prayers. Obviously, financial support always helps, and become a customer. So contact us today for that information, and we will get you in queue, as they say over the pond, or in line. So anyway, thank you for all your support. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you hopefully at the auction.